Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television and radio talk show. Thank you so much for watching Monday through Friday beginning at 2 p.m. and that's on the Eastern time zone as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. You may find us on television. We're syndicated on Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. You can also find us on the radio. We're the biggest powerhouse country station in South Carolina, WZLA 93.9 on the FM, and always so good to be with you. Continue sending email, Donna@donnasedge.com. That's Donna@donnasedge.com. So happy to be with you. Always happy to be with my very good friend, Michele Bland. Michele is an author, and I don't know how you do it. I have always been so amazed at people who write books. And so you've been doing that for quite some time now, haven't you, Michele?
Yeah, I'm really, to be honest with you, a newbie at it. It's like maybe, well, a newbie as far as putting one out. I've been writing them probably, you're right, for a few years, but I never actually really published one. So yeah, you're accurate in saying that. But I published my first one this year. Mm-hmm. I kind of, finally got the nerve up to do it. And it's been interesting. I'm learning a lot. All the pitfalls, the do's, the don'ts, but it's worth it. It's a lot of fun.
I'm one of those, I can learn on what not to do. I have to make some mistakes so that I can know not to do it again. So that's my pitfall. So let's talk about your first book and what brought you to that idea of the book you wrote.
The first book, A Secret is Born, actually was an experience that I had in my own life. And, as much as you try to forget things, it's always somewhere there in the background. Mm-hmm. But I finally decided just to write about it as a form of therapy for me. Mm-hmm. I didn't really feel like there was anyone I could talk to about it, so I just wrote about it. And amazingly enough, it did help. And so after I wrote it, I thought about maybe the people who had gone through similar experiences, and that's what made me want to go ahead and publish it.
I've heard a lot of people talk about that. I've had Christian psychiatrists on the show before, and they would always say, start a journal. And they were talking, sometimes they would get questions from the audience, and people would say, well, you know what? I actually did write some of this stuff down, and it always helps. There's something about, and he would say, don't even type it in. This has been several years ago. Don't even type it in. Handwrite it, but it takes me too long to hand. I can't even read my own handwriting, so I have to type everything in, Michele.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that writing it and having it flow from you is different than just getting on a computer and, picking it out. And I think that's what helped me out a lot. So, but it's under a pen name. It's under Desi Mays if you go to look for it on Amazon. Mm-hmm. I had obvious reasons why I put it under a pen name, not my own name, because I didn't really want my family, to read it. I mean, if they do, it's okay, but it's just not something that I really wanted them to know about. That's why it's been a secret all these years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your secret. But how do you feel now that you've written the book? Do you feel a little bit better about things?
Yeah, I do. It like I said, writing helped me to kind of get out some feelings that I hadn't dealt with before. So yeah, I do feel better about it since I wrote about it. Mm-hmm. And I hope it helps somebody else.
That's the point. Sometimes we go through things and we think, well, it's just, I'm the only person it's ever happened to. I mean, I've done that. And then like you let somebody hear your story and it kind of brightens them up a little bit. Not that they're glad that something bad happened to you, but they're glad to know they're not the only one.
Right.
And are always looking for an answer to things. You know, there's a situation and what's the answer? You know, how do I handle this? And so you're a guiding light out there, so you're able to help people.
I hope so, because that was the intent of me, writing it, that if I can help, just one person, then, that makes the whole thing worth it,
Mm-hmm.
But, and then after I did A Secret is Born, the next book that I moved on to was Unbearable Deceptions. And that one, of course, was fiction. Mm-hmm. And that book I actually had started a few years ago, and then I just stopped, because I work a lot, and sometimes it's hard to have the time to set aside to really, and, engulf yourself into writing, because you really have to do that. Mm-hmm. And this year I just decided, I blew the dust off of it, and I said, okay, let me finish this story. And it's basically a love story. This young woman meets this man, and they fall in love, and then there's so many twists and turns along the way. And basically the story tells you how they survived it. Mm-hmm. And I tried to make it, what they say, unputdownable, so that you wanted to just keep reading and reading until you finish it. I tried to make it exciting and unpredictable. So, yeah, that's the Unbearable Deceptions is the next book that came in the line. And then the next one after that, actually, I got the idea from somebody I worked with. We were talking about body count. I never knew, and I almost feel embarrassed to confess this, I never knew that people used the term body count to talk about how many people, they had slept with. Mm-hmm. Body count for me was like, when you look at CSI,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right. That's the only body count I knew about. But I worked with a young girl, and she was schooling me and telling me, we use body count to, as a description for how many people we slept with. Mm-hmm. And from there, that's when I got the idea to make the body count journals. I actually had put them on TikTok. I put them on YouTube. And the funny thing about it is this lady had commented about, oh, this is disgusting. And I remember thinking to myself, it may be disgusting to you, but, I'm hoping that it will help somebody. When I originally created them, it was geared more toward young people. I think it's a good way that if you have a teen that you suspect is sexually active, to kind of get them to hold their own self accountable, not to judge themselves. But I feel like sometimes when you're young, sometimes you're a little frisky. And if you're keeping account of who you're with, I think that makes you look at it and go like, wow, did I really, was I really into with that many people? And then I'm hoping that they would use it in a way to hold their own self accountable. Mm-hmm. So, and not just, young people, but, older people as well. Because I think sometimes when you're out there, you don't think about what you're doing. You just do it. Mm-hmm. But I think if you're keeping track of it, then maybe you'll be looking like, maybe I need to slow down a little bit. You know what I mean?
Many reasons, though. I mean, there was a time saving yourself for the person you're going to marry was a big deal in society and all the different changes in society. And just, I don't know, every television commercial, every new show. I mean, it's like that. People think that that's what you do.
Yeah, I think this generation looks at sex a whole lot differently than our generation. I was always taught that it was something sacred, and that you found somebody that you wanted to be with, and that's who you were with. But like you said, in today's society, it's different. It's like it's okay to go out and just, have fun. And I'm not saying that it's not, because I try not to judge people, because how you look at sex depends on how you were raised and how you were taught about it. Mm-hmm. So I try not to judge people, because everybody has a different view when it comes to sex. But I'm kind of hoping that the journals will help them, first of all, to keep track. Second of all, to, like I said, hold yourself accountable for what you're out here doing. And if you would ever contract a disease or something, it would help you to figure out, who you caught it from. Or if you get pregnant.
The reason that people need to be careful, though, is because And I heard this one time, and I think it probably helped me to make the decision to be careful and safe for my husband. But there was a couple that I knew, and he had the affair, and he wound up having an affair with somebody, and she had a disease, she had VD. Well, he wound up giving it. No, it was AIDS. It was AIDS. So he had slept with this woman, and she had slept with somebody who had AIDS. Well, guess what? She was spreading the AIDS virus, and his wife got it.
Oh my goodness!
And I remember hearing about that. It's a true story, and I remember hearing about that, thinking, how unfair is that to his wife?
Yeah.
She wanted to remain true and everything. Then he messed around, and then she winds up with VD. It's just something that does not seem right about that at all. I can't.
No, it's not. And while we're speaking on men, I also made about a body count journal for the men, and it's called Not the Daddy. And it's pretty much the same as the one that I created for the women. It's a way for them to track who they sleep with, but I try to write it more on a level that a man would like, because my son was like, I said, I'm going to do it like I did the body count journal for the women. And my son's like, no, mama, men think differently. They're not going to want to sit down and write out all their emotions and do all that stuff like a woman. So my son actually helped me to structure it so that he said that a man would look at it and be like, oh yeah, I can deal with this. So my son helped me with that one. And then after that was Who's Watching Mom and Dad. And those were the ones, and I actually have one of them here that really, really meant a lot to me because I work in the healthcare industry. So from working there, I've seen a lot, and it helped me to develop Who's Watching Mom and Dad. The first one, you have several chapters in there to help you, like if you're just going in. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and just read off exactly what's in there. You have a family observation section, and basically you want to go in and different things that you're noticing, go ahead and document and write. So if you have a complaint and you have to go to who's in charge, you have everything documented with time and dates. And sometimes when you have issues, that helps your case to be able to say on this date, this happened at this time. It has an appointments and visits log, so you can keep up with, when your family goes to the doctor and what the outcome of it was and the recommendations. It has a fall and injury section. That's a brief section because at this point, you're really hoping that your loved one isn't having a lot of falls. Vital signs and blood sugar section, so you can keep track of that. And then the clothing inventory tracker, because I cannot tell you how many times I went in the laundry room and there been clothes there with no name. We didn't know who they belonged to.
Oh, no. Yeah.
And we had actually, and I'm almost embarrassed to admit this, we had an entire room full of things that belonged to people that didn't have names and we didn't know who they belonged to. So that's very important.
Michele, let's go into a commercial break, and we're going to be right back in just a few minutes. I'd like to get a little bit more into detail about that.
Okay.
We'll be right back in just a few minutes.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. Or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Okay, we are back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Television and Radio Talk Show where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday. Now, you can find us not only if you're at work right now. I don't want you to get fired because you watch the show. You can find us anytime you want to on Facebook Live. And just go through facebook.com/DFeasel. You can find us on YouTube, all the social media sites. So we're there for you just anytime you'd like to see a show. I'm talking to my friend Michele Bland right now. And so little did I know back 20 years ago that she was an aspiring writer. And you are. So and I'm going to tell you, a lot of folks are taking care of elderly parents right now. That's what I'm doing right now. Phil and I are taking care of my mother. And so mother used to work in a nursing home, and she was a laundry supervisor. And she said the exact same thing that you did. A lot of times people wouldn't put their names on the clothing. And they wouldn't have an earthly idea who it belonged to. And they would just put it in a room somewhere, hoping that some of the relatives would come by and then, this is mother's, this is dad's, whatever. So, I mean, what can you do? Maybe when they just tell the kids or whoever brings them in to please put their names on it.
Yes, that's really important. I mean, because just take the time and invest in a Sharpie and write their name in it. Just so if someone leaves it in there and we don't know who it belongs to, that your loved one's things don't end up getting lost or thrown in the lost and found box. And I think there's this thing at Walmart where you can actually, it's like a little white sticker thing, and you iron it in, if I'm not mistaken, and put your loved one's name on it. But, if you don't want to be that intricate, just get a Sharpie. Write their name. If you don't want, you're worried about the name, being seen by somebody, put it on the tag. Just put their room number, put their name, put something so that we know who it belongs to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's your treasure, that's your clothes, and we want people to be able to change clothing,
Yes.
and be nice and clean and everything. So yeah, I mean, there's so many. What are some other tips? Because I mean, for people who have never, there's a lot of people who've never even been to a nursing home before, so they don't have a clue what it is and what it's like. What are some things that people just don't understand? They don't know. I mean, it's not because they don't care; they just don't know. What are some things they need to know about a nursing home and keeping their loved ones in one?
I think it's important that you bring. I think a lot of times they assume that we have like little dressers and things for their loved ones' clothes. Some nursing homes may have that, but a lot of them don't. So I think it's important that you bring some type of dresser or something to store the clothes in. The closet space is very, very limited. You're only going to be able to fit with so much in there. And a lot of times it's like they try to bring everything and there's nowhere to put it. So for me, I feel like you should just bring like just the essentials, not try to bring everything. Making sure they have enough of change of pants, shirts, stuff like that. But a lot of the stuff that they bring, like they'll bring like tons and tons of pictures. And I get that, but just, bring a few because you're not going to have anywhere to put them, to be honest with you. Now, one lady, she brought a dresser and she has them all over, the top of her dresser, which is cool. I'm not really sure. The rules vary from place to place if you're able to put them on the walls, because I'm thinking that they wouldn't want, a bunch of pictures streamed everywhere because then that does damage to their property. But, just if you have a big dresser, or even if you have like a TV stand where you can, line them up. But it's important to bring that. It's important to like get like a little trash can because some places supply them, some places don't. That's important. And lighting is very important because where I'm at, they don't have like the ceiling lights in the top. So it's important that you bring a lamp, bring them some type of lighting. You get a lighting like when you first walk in the door. It's like the main lighting. Now you do have that, but that's not going to illuminate the whole room. So, you need to bring like a little lamp, a bedside table so that they're not fiddling around in the dark. Because more than likely, most people, they like for you to turn that light off and then your loved one is sitting in the dark. And a night light is good too. So if you don't want to bring a light, bring a night light so that if they get up and go to the bathroom, you don't have to worry about them falling. So that's just important. I think it's important that you bring your own toiletries for them because even though a lot of facilities will supply them, it's not really like, the good stuff. Like if your mom uses Dove, then you don't really want to use the facility because they're not, their supplies are not going to be on the same level that Dove is on. So if your loved one has, things like that in particular that they like, bring that.
Maybe their favorite fragrance or something like that. So they can, because I'm just telling you, fragrances are wonderful. Some people like fruity, some people like foods smells, we know that from candles, you and I, so we dealt with that a lot.
Yes.
And it brings memories back, and so, I mean, I can smell a sugar cookie and it makes me think of my grandmother every single time with a candle. But I'm talking about their toiletries and things like that, hand creams and those kinds of things.
Yes.
Scented
face creams, makeups. I had one lady that I used to help her to get ready in the morning, and she had all her little makeup, her cosmetic, and she would have a routine that she would want me to do, put this on first, and then you put that on, and then you put the makeup on. And I'm like, I don't know nothing about makeup. I don't wear it, so I don't know anything about putting makeup on. But, she would talk me through it because she had her little regimen, how she wanted things done. So, yeah, it's important. Just like you have things at home, bring them, like the little small personal things. It's just like the big things. You want to go in and see how big the room is first before you start bringing everything. Because most of the time, everything is not going to fit. Yeah. So I would advise people just to bring the stuff that's important, But, some places are different. Some have a lot of space, So it's all about you going in, checking it out, and kind of like guesstimating what you need to bring. But right off the top, I would say bring a lamp, bring a trash can, bring their personal belongings that that they love.
What about those little foldable TV, the little trays that you could put, I mean, big enough so you could put a lamp on it or something. You know, there's all kinds of things that you can get that are.
That would be nice. Keep at the bedside. Yeah, that would be great. I would say bring, like in the bathroom, maybe bring like a little rug. But the facility where I work at, they don't want you to bring that. See, I work on the memory care unit, and they don't want you to bring things like that because they're afraid that your loved one, you know, is going to trip and fall, which, you know, for the unit I work on, yeah, that's a concern. And while we're speaking about that, I want to go into the next one. This is Who's Watching Mom and Dad, but this is the fall and injury edition. And unfortunately, if your loved one has gotten to that point in their life where they are having a lot of falls, that's something that you would want to have because you're keeping track. It's almost like an incident report, like the ones that we use. When they call you, get the time, get the date, the location where they fell at. Was it in the room? Was it in the bathroom? Did anybody witness the fall? You know, did staff happen to walk in and see them trip and fall? And get a description from them of the fall. And then the injuries, it's got a section where you can check off the injuries and a section for follow-up notes. And then on this page, you have a section for pictures. So, and I think that's important. Take pictures and keep track of all of that.
Yeah, somebody's got a camera phone. I mean, you know, that's an easy thing that you can do right now. We have about a little bit less than 3 minutes left in this segment. Now, you've written another book. You want to tease us a little bit about it?
Yes, ma'am. I have actually started a vampire novel, and I am excited about it. And I actually got the idea. I was online researching some stuff about the Black Death, and I got the idea from the research that I was doing on the Black Death. I'm not going to tell a lot about it because I don't want to give it away, but I'm just going to say that the vampires end up getting contaminated from people that they drank of that carried the Black Death plague. And from that, I expanded it. So I'm really excited because I'm still going on and developing it. And I'm really, really excited about it because I love vampire books myself. Love them.
Oh, I do too. And I like those old movies back from the 30s and the 40s, you know, where they'd have Bela Lugosi and all of, you know, the Draculas and all that kind of stuff. It's always been fascinating to me too.
Have you ever seen Dracula Untold? I love that movie. Yes, you should check that movie out. It is really, really good. I know a lot of people are caught up in the Twilight zone because, you know, the Twilight series was really, really good. And I liked it too. But I loved the Dracula the Untold story. That was really good.
Yeah. There was really someone back in the 1600s there was a Dracula. I don't know that he drank blood and all that stuff, but you know.
Yeah, I believe there was. I've never really researched it. I just like the fantasy idea of it. I remember back in the day there was one called Dark Shadows. I don't know if do you remember Dark?
Yes, I remember Dark Shadows. Yeah.
Yes, and I remember the area that used to run the film caught on fire, and I think all of the Dark Shadow videos got burned up. So like wherever they were that you saw it in the series, that was it. As far back as I can remember. Now, I don't know if they ever recovered any of them, but I do remember I used to watch it every evening when I got off from school, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. And it's like, what happened to Dark Shadows? But they said that the studio, I think it was in Beckley, West Virginia, caught on fire, and all of the clips that were there got burned up.
That's something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we got to call it a day. We got to call it a day. Now, how can folks find your books?
I am on Amazon. If you put my name in, Michele Bland, 1L, Michele, Bland, Bland, all the books that I have written are on Amazon, and they will come up when you put my name in.
That's absolutely amazing. Michele, thank you so much for being on the show with me. So time just flies when you're on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Just like that. And thank you guys so much for watching. You're the reason we do what we do. Continue sending email, Donna at donnasedge.com, Donna at donnasedge.com.